What's up, everybody? We are back live for a new episode of Ghosted, a paranormal podcast. I'm your host, Jay Thomas, and with me, Colton Spinks, as always. Colton, how you doing tonight, man?
Pretty good, Jake. What about you?
Man, I'm doing great. It's been a great week. I've been waiting on this. I'm always excited. I do a lot of podcasts in the week, but I'm always excited to do all of them. But this one right here is a little bit more special because it's near and dear to my heart, and it's something that we both shared interest in and all that. So it's always fun to talk about, the paranormal and things of that matter. So I'm always glad, when Thursday nights get here so we can do that.
Yeah, I feel the same. I mean, this is the only podcast I do, but yes, it's fun though.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we get started big tonight, we're just going to do a little improv episode. We'll throw a few things, out there. The chat's booming. Give us some stuff we might talk about. We've got a question. We'll answer it. But real quick, we had a little issue on our last episode, and Colton, you remember our last episode? It was on UFOs and everything like that, and we were setting up on our break room at work a few days after, just talking about it, and you happened to say, "Hey, did you put that Wikipedia link under the description?" I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" So this is going to bring up our first topic, and this is censorship. So what happened was we got this link under there, and what it says, let me get my phone pulled back up. It says it was pretty much like a UFO hypothesis, and I clicked on the link, and it gave me a little question, a little thing that said, why am I seeing this? So I clicked on that. The description that you get when you pull that up, it said blah 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 in response to COVID-19 disease, blah 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 crap. You will see information panels with links to learn more about COVID-19 or COVID vaccination info. Don't care about that. Down below it, though, it says when you search or watch videos related to topics prone to misinformation, such as the moon landing, it will pretty much be at the top of your it'll be the panel information panel is at the top of your search results or under a video you're watching. So, Colton, it sounds like we're 4 episodes in. Apparently, we're doing something right. We only have 11 subscribers, but if that's already getting put up on our videos, somebody is already trying to censor us. And we know who that is.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. All the best videos are like get taken down off YouTube. I've found some great stuff, really knowledgeable stuff, and then before you know it, it's gone. It's been took off. So it's just how it goes now. YouTube is a bunch of communist liberals. That's just how it is. I don't know. It's bad. By them doing that, they claim that they are the ultimate authority and they have the last word about what is true and what's false.
Right.
But as we can tell, it's all about agenda, often political agenda. And we can have our opinions, they can have theirs, but then they say, well, our opinion's right, and if we don't like your opinion, we don't like what you say, we're just gonna, censor you, take your account away, whatever, give you strikes. I guess that's how it works.
Yeah, it's very interesting though, because you talk about opinions. Like you just said, they're like, they say, well, you can have your opinion, we can have our opinion, but then they counteract that and say, well, our opinion is right, and yours is wrong, and we don't like your opinion. So, and that's the day and age we live in. If somebody disagrees with something, instead of talking it out like we do, me and you don't agree on everything when it comes to the paranormal, but we talk it out. We don't have that no more. It's just constantly bickering and like, my opinion's right and yours is wrong, and shame on you for not having the same opinion I do. And if you don't like that, then shove it. And everybody's got to have their own way, and it used to not be like that. So it just shows the downfall of this country, honestly.
Yeah, it does show the downfall because just off the top of my head, Nazi Germany,
Mm-hmm.
censorship, North Korea, censorship, China, censorship, and we claim those are the enemies.
Right.
Well, the U.S. is doing it, so are we our own enemy? I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we're just like North Korea. I mean, not in a lot of ways, of course, but uh, if you're gonna do it, they're gonna keep trying to do it more and more. It's not gonna stop. It's gonna get far worse.
Yeah.
So it's not looking good, but there is hope. Who knows?
Right.
As long as we keep saying whatever we think, we'll keep fighting them, I guess. So, but
What?
yeah, just the whole COVID thing that was bad.
Yeah.
Just like you said, they're claiming because of misinformation. Well, I don't know. Just saying. I remember looking at the news. Everybody was confused about what was going on. They would say they had that guy Fauci on TV like
Oh
he's some
God.
hero, but he's just some. Anyway, he would say something different every week.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. No, we was wrong. This is it. This is it. Every week, it was different, changing guidelines. It's like, dude, you don't know. You don't.
Right.
You clearly don't know anything. And they tried to start pushing the vaccines on everybody against their will, firing people and not letting them in places. Sounding, like Nazi Germany again a little bit. So yeah, it's bad. Uh, it's bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, we saw it there, and I hope we don't see it again. Something of that proportion, but we likely will. That's just a little my 2 cents on it. This will probably get took down, I guess, because you say words, you say keywords,
Oh yeah.
vaccine, COVID, stuff like that. It'll get you in trouble.
Oh well. That is get strikes or whatever. We're going to
Yeah,
speak the truth, and that's all we have done since we started the podcast. Before we got on YouTube, that's all we did was spoke the truth, and everything. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'll say it 100 more times. Everything that we talk about is 100% has research and knowledge back behind it. So, anyway, Griffin Steele is he said damn liberal Nazis. But before we move on, I do want to say one thing before we get into the meat of our topics tonight. Um, you talking about Nazi Germany, you talking about, let's just say, the great USSR, you talk about, France back in the day, you talk about Rome. Every great empire eventually falls. And America has been a great empire for so many years now. And I truly believe we're starting to see our downfall.
yeah. Like you said, we look at other countries and we can see predicting factors
Mhm.
as to why they fell.
Right.
The Roman Empire, of course, and Sodom and Gomorrah looking
Yeah.
a little familiar there. It's not going to
Hmm.
end well, I tell you.
Nope.
They got what was coming to them.
Right.
So yeah, people change your ways. It's pretty bad. U.S. is really, U.S. great country, possibly the best,
Right.
but uh, man, it's not looking good. It's going downhill fast. It's going downhill
Absolutely.
real fast, and I mean, we have a lot of opportunity. It's great to live here, but what the future looks like, I don't know, man. It's not the best, and we other countries are kind of accelerating in the direction we're going faster than us. It seems like when you say stuff about the UK, Australia, it's bad, man. The
Right.
politics are openly corrupt. Of course,
Right.
ours is too. Uh, just they don't have certain rights. They can't have the guns. That's keeping the wolves away to some extent. Is we got guns.
Right.
Everybody's
Second
got
Amendment.
guns. Yeah, it's great. So the some authority can't come to our door and just do whatever they want. Because I mean that wouldn't go well.
Right.
I mean, this just took a dark turn, Jake. I better stop because it can keep going. It can keep going. It can get bad.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just
Absolutely.
kind of ease up.
Yeah, we're going to get into our meat of our topic now, and that is we got one thing we want to talk about. And if anybody else in the comments got something to say, you know, we are going to talk about this right here, and we're going to talk about some dog men. Now, Colton, me and you have discussed this on the podcast before. You know, overall, I feel like dog men, these creatures, I do feel like they're evil in nature. Every encounter that people have had with them, I don't think anybody's actually say like gone missing from a dog man story, but there's been a lot of dog man sightings, and there's nothing ever good that comes out of these sightings. Like they just feel like an evil presence around, things like that. So I think there's something evil about them. And yeah, they're not good, man. They're not good at all. You see a lot of talk and a lot of people talk about seeing these things, and they're usually around where satanic rituals are taking place. So maybe they're conjuring these things up. I don't know, because it is what we say a demon. I really think it's some kind of demon. So if you have these satanic rituals out there conjuring these things up, it's not good. So what's your initial thoughts on the dog man? And we got 4 people right now. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, so Dogman, this is one I think I got figured out. And man, I did a lot of work to try to figure this out. So you are getting it for free. So it's yeah. A Dogman, the description, it's a werewolf. So
Okay.
anyway, Hollywood got a hold of that werewolf.
Yep.
Dogman, werewolf. They got different names. Skinwalker also falls under that category. It's a creature with a wolf head, wolf-like, and half wolf, half human body, and yeah, obviously not natural. So, I guess to kind of lay it out here, the Navajo Indians, they were big into the occult, big into witchcraft back in the day. They cursed Skinwalker Ranch. That's a whole nother topic. They would do these rituals, and I believe these rituals were passed down from the fallen angels.
Okay.
So passed down through generation, and they would shapeshift into these dogmen, werewolves, and they would go do whatever, run around at night. And you can still do this in modern time, I believe. So how it works, you do a ritual, intentionally get possessed by a certain demon, and that demon manifests in you and it changes you into that creature. I know it sounds crazy. I probably am crazy. I don't know. It sounds wild, but this is something I truly believe. For instance,
Excuse me.
I had already figured this out to myself, and I kept hearing things like I'm listening to an interview of an exorcist, a Christian exorcist, and he says he watched a man shapeshift into a wolf in front of his eyes and smile at him and then shapeshift back into a human.
Wow.
I'm like, yep, that just proves to myself that I was right. That guy was possessed and he was seeking help. And that demon, you know, it tried to scare the exorcist and it changed into that creature in front of his eyes. And another book, he came to set our captives free. It's a Christian book, and it's pretty wild. But the lady says that people were possessed by these demons and they would transform into werewolves. So that's 2 Christian accounts of this.
Yeah.
And then we can get to the Native American thing, like I talked about. It's a skinwalker. They change into these things, and it's not, the rest of the tribe doesn't like this. They don't like it. It's looked down upon. So the people that do it are kind of the dredges of society, garbage.
Yeah.
And they get possessed and they turn into some crazy stuff. That's how it works. They put this stuff in Hollywood. There's a lot of truth to fiction, you know. So anyway, that's just my spiel on the dog men. I mean, you know, they're garbage. You know, they ain't got no business messing with anybody. So I don't know, shoot them, throw holy water at them, do it all. I think that would probably fix the issue. Just do both of those.
But if it's a spirit, a gun probably ain't going to kill it,
Yeah,
and knock it
but I
down.
mean, yeah,
But the holy
just
water
try.
might,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, but I don't know. It could still be a person, right? So I'm not sure what would happen there. But I also think that they can a pure demon that's not
Yeah.
possessed somebody they can manifest, and you can see that, and that'd be a more spiritual thing, you know, like a ghost. It appears before you in that form, it disappears again. That's just a demon, you know, appearing in its natural form. I guess I don't know.
Hmm.
So dog men are demons in a way.
Hmm.
I think. Now I'm probably right. I'm just saying it's just how it is, you know.
Well, your theory is that you think everything paranormal related is demonic in nature. So, of
I
course, that's
think.
going to fall right into,
Well,
you know,
plus angels, yeah.
and well, minus the angels. Angels are, of course, from heaven and coming down to do the will of the Lord. So, and everybody talks about guardian angels as well. So, oh
And we
yeah,
can do
that's
we can do an episode on that on here. I know we did on the
mhm.
podcast, but man, angels are awesome, so they deserve their own episode.
Yeah, I agree. We don't want we don't we they deserve to have their own episode. So we need to do that and we'll do that soon. Um, you know, oh man, that's you do have a lot of, some sightings of these things. I don't think there's any that I remember or that's been documented. I've heard stories of some being seen here in Alabama, but I don't think any documented cases have made any kind of national news. Now the national dog man up in, was it the Beast, the Bray Road or something, and there's a dog man sighting, and was it Wisconsin or Michigan, something like that, like a well
Yeah,
known story. But you just think that it's got to be something. It's so hard to fathom that it's a half man, half dog. And I can see where people are coming from in the paranormal, looking at this like these guys are idiots doing this stuff. But we always say, open up your minds. I mean, what if there's that possibility that there is something like that out there?
right. Yeah, yeah. It's some wild stuff. You know, I sound pretty confident. You know, maybe I need somebody to knock me down the sides, but I don't think anybody can disprove what I just said. It's just how I
No,
feel.
I mean, I think you're onto something on with those for sure. You think you've nailed down Dogman, you think you nailed down Bigfoot, and you think you nailed down UFOs.
Well,
So
Bigfoot
what
is one of those
yeah,
things, and I don't know. You know, I not yet, but I can't figure out the roots, the track them down to the very roots of their existence, like
right.
the dog man. So I don't know, man. I think they are demonic. Bigfoot, in a way. Uh, Again, I couldn't point somebody towards the exact way that they came to be. I just think it is related to the demonic, most likely. You know, it's just how I feel.
Yeah. UFOs, we talked about them last week, but that always gets a lot of attention, especially here lately. Bigfoot, ghosts, demons, stuff like that. Some of the unknowns or the not well known, especially around here. But overseas, they have what we call fairies and elementals. I need to dig into those a little bit more. Of course, fairies, of course, I mean, they're like little fairies that we imagine. But the elementals, they just say it's like a streak of light, and it's like a demonic light that will like chase you and harass you and stuff. So I got to look into more of that. But there's a lot of lore overseas that we need to look into, because the paranormal over there is vast as well.
Yeah, the different cultures have different
Hmm.
ways of interpreting this stuff, and yeah, they vary on what they look like.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of cultures, it's Bigfoot, man. We can all
Oh
agree
yeah.
on that. They got the name for it, but the description is the exact same. It's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's something most people, you know, most countries have in common is Bigfoot, which is crazy.
Right.
And yeah, there's just endless stuff. You know, another thing in common we can mention it is shadow people and
Yes.
the top hat man, top hat demon. Couple names there. Uh, First off, why does he have a hat? I don't know. You know, why is he wearing a top hat? It's weird. People see this across the globe.
Hmm.
They see
I
the
saw it.
same thing. Yeah, Jake, you had a dealings with it.
Hmm.
Is it one single entity making its rounds, or is it a form that many demons take?
Right.
Who knows? But shadow people, it's similar to the top hat man. Probably, you know, they're probably all demons. You know,
Yeah.
uh, top hat man's usually tall, slim. Top
Wearing a
hat,
top hat.
yeah, usually dark black, blacker than not. You know,
Yeah.
where you'll see him standing in your room, even if it's pitch black, he'll just be blacker than that.
Right.
Uh, Always bad. Nothing good ever associated with this that I've heard. People see shadow people all the time. I've talked to many people that have saw shadow people, and a common occurrence is that something bad has happened there or is happening there. And it doesn't have to be a murder.
Right.
It doesn't have to be. It can be darkness, depression, uh, anything like that. Because what do demons love? They love darkness. Uh,
Right.
they can come to it like a moth to a light bulb. So it attracts them, and that's the common thing. And if something bad isn't happening now, it probably has happened there, and they're drawn to it, and then they like take up residence there, I guess, in a way. So a lot of people see them. I never
Right.
saw one. A lot of people see them during sleep paralysis at night. They wake up or just normal, come home from
Yeah.
work. There they are. They stare at them. Uh, they're like, "What the heck?" And then look away and look back, and they're gone. You know,
Yeah.
it's always bad though. It's demons, so get help if you got those.
Yeah. Call us for sure.
Yeah,
But I'll tell my story real quick, Colton, about the top hat
perfect. Yeah,
man. We I had formerly had a group. You know, I talked about that my very first group a few, you know, I think the very first episode, but I had one before after that. And one of our cases, the only case we actually did as a team, involved a little family, a little small girl who was being attacked. She is actually got drugged out of the bed into the closet, and the closet door shut behind her one night. I mean, just scared the family to death and all that. So I was, like, found out. I went over there and I told them beforehand. I said, take some pictures, just send, just random pictures, send them to me, and we'll look at it. Well, my other investigator, she was looking at them, and she found a silhouette of, and it was on the outside of the window that looked like a figure, black figure with a top hat on. So I was okay, take another picture. Wasn't there. So I was like, okay. So it was like a couple of Saturdays after that, I went over there and during the day and just talked to the family, met with them and all that. And I was like, where was that picture taken at? And they showed me the bedroom. It was in the little girl's bedroom, and where was it on the inside? And I was okay, cool. I took it's your classic window, Colton, with the 3 frames in top, then the 3 in the middle, and then 3 in the bottom. It's all broken into. It's got the crosses, all that. So the head was like the very top left. It'd be the left, be the right frame if you're just looking at it on the left hand side. So if you look on the outside, it'd be the right hand side. But on the left hand side, the very top, and you see the body, the shoulders like in the middle frame and all that. But I mean, you can clearly see the figure. And it's like, okay, so this is where we need to stay in the little girl's room, check it out, and all that night. we went outside to their garage area because they had some stuff going on out there. I was trying to listen, and when they're sitting there talking about it, I happened to look at that window, and I'm like, "Hang on just a second." I'm like, "What?" And I was like, "That figure was in that third pane up at the very top." No lie, that window was 8 feet off the ground. It's right then, so that thing was, I mean, 10 foot tall had to be if it was going to reach that top frame. So I was like, what are we dealing with? And that's when I found out, started doing research about the top hat man. And let's just say the investigation was pretty rough that night. Yeah. And what was cool was I finally found some old pictures. I actually found the picture of that and I sent it to Colton, and you actually enhanced it, and you actually got an eyeball out of the picture. That was incredible to see, because you couldn't see that in the picture. You could definitely tell the top hat, but you couldn't make out the eyeball. But when you enhanced that, you definitely saw it. It was the creepiest thing I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that was definitely creepy. I wish we could put it up here. Maybe in the future when we learn a little bit more about technology, we can put up that picture and the original to just look at it and show everybody.
Right.
Yeah, it's very very dark picture, creepy for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But you got anything else you wanna touch on tonight before we get out of here?
Uh, I don't guess. I mean, we bounced around dog men, demons, things like
Mhm.
that.
It's an
Uh,
improv episode. That's what normally happens. We just throw a bunch of stuff out there and see what sticks.
yeah, we didn't even talk about aliens or UFOs really.
Nah.
So uh, there's only so much time though, I guess. Uh, Figure out something for next week. But
Yeah. You know, I keep saying we want to do just a record episode, but shoot, these lives, we're finally getting some comments, getting some viewers. If it keeps continuing like this, I don't care to do a live every Thursday night, and if it keeps growing like this and gets more interaction, then I don't care, to have an hour or long episode if need be. We'll be here as long as we want to. Griffin said we need to do the deep state next. Uh, I mean, we could probably talk. We probably would get banned on that. But yeah,
yeah,
um,
yeah, that's. I know people would like to hear it. The deep state. A lot of conspiracy with that. Yeah, I guess my opinions evolved on that particular topic. Yeah, it goes deep. I mean, hence the name deep state. But
right.
yeah, we need to talk about that sometime.
We have told them before on the audio side of things, but we do tend to get into conspiracy stuff, but we don't get into like the off the wall type conspiracies. We get into the ones that are more than likely like, yeah, this is true because it's already proven to be true. So yeah, we're going to we'll talk some more about that, but most of all, it's going to be more paranormal stuff, related topics, things like that. Got a lot out there. We've talked on the audio side about the Loch Ness monster. Talk about that on here. I'd like to get everybody's opinion on that. We already know what Colton's is, but we'll talk about it again. Um, the chupacabra, skinwalkers you brought up a little bit tonight. We can talk about them. Skinwalker Ranch, the South version of the Skinwalker Ranch. I think we've talked about that before. But there's a lot out there that we've got planned for the next several episodes. So stay tuned. Thank you, Griffin, for listening and watching. There was 4 people in the night. Thank you all for jumping on. We'll be back next Thursday night. Again, if you got any kind of paranormal activity, please let us know. We'll be glad to help you out free of charge, as always, because I don't feel like it's right to charge you for your paranormal, hauntings. It's not your fault that Casper lives in your house or whatever, it's not, it's just no fault of yours. It just happened. So anyway, Colton, thank you as always. We'll be back next Thursday night. Uh, this has been Ghosted Paranormal Podcast with your host, Jake Thomas, Colton Spinks, and we'll see y'all next Thursday night. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Good night.